porn. Anyways.
You know what I call it, clap? I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Welcome to Regan's Rants and Raves. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ellie, and today we'll be breaking it down, bitching about, and overanalyzing 1981's Evil Dead. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you can eat shit because we're talking about it anyway. So sit back, relax, grab your Book of the Dead and your boomstick, and enjoy this unfiltered, downright horrifying talk on Evil Dead. All hail Bruce Campbell.
All hail Bruce Campbell.
And this is when the sacrifice starts.
Oh no.
Bella Hotep.
That too.
Also Boomstick. Yeah.
Boomstick has nothing to do with this movie.
Not this movie, no.
But it's still fun for me to say.
There,
and I really wanted to say it.
The name, yeah.
Alliteration.
Yeah.
Keep the bees going.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the bitchiness and the boomstickiness and the books.
Breasts, butts, and boomsticks. My three favorite.
Three favorite things?
Boo. Booberry.
So what'd you think of the movie?
Anyways. So, I kind of actually want to start out with something a little bit different.
Okay.
I kind of want to hear everybody's association with said movie, because mine's a little bit neat.
Yeah.
Well, not neat, but this movie was a big staple in, like, my horror upbringing.
Yeah.
So, like...
Well, my first exposure to the movie was through my best friend at the time when I lived in Texas. So this was like 10 years ago, I think. And I just stayed at his house a lot. And this was one of those movies that, I don't know, he was exposed to. He was like, you ever seen Evil Dead? I'm like, no, I haven't. It was just one of those things that we watched it during a sleepover that I really didn't think much of as a kid.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, like, but you know, there were a few things, and we're gonna get into those that like really creeped me out more than like a lot of the other stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
But that was my introduction to the movie. Was just a sleepover with my friend who decided to show it to me.
Joel, do you remember the first time you saw it?
The first one, it was literally like 4 years ago. Like, I bought the Blu-ray and watched it. The second one, I had a friend for years tell me to watch it.
The second one?
He liked more the campiness and the humor and stuff. So he was like, you should just skip the first one. They recap it anyway. Give it a watch. And then it took a couple of years of convincing, and I finally sat down at a different friend's house and we were scrolling through Netflix. And it was on there, and he was like, I don't even watch this. I've never seen it. I'm like, I haven't either, but let's go. He hated it. We watched it together, and he was like, I don't like that. That's terrible.
This.
He was like, you can get out of my house. And I was like, dude, I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
But I watched the first one years after that, and that's about it. Like, I don't have a huge connection with this one.
That's a quick note for me, too. I saw Army of Darkness first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the first one, and I've never seen Evil Dead 2.
I saw Army of Darkness before I saw 1. I saw 2, Army of Darkness 1.
Oh, neat.
Wow.
Really fucking weird.
We've all
neat.
just done this,
like
except for you, probably.
of the show.
So, I saw it for the first time in a theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rub it in.
So, yeah. So, I worked in a haunted house for the majority of my, like, I think for like 10 years we did the haunted house, or at least I did the haunted house.
Yeah.
I think that's a rough, I don't know, they all run together, you know, drugs and stuff. Anyways.
No.
No.
I don't know. Why don't you tell us more?
No, I don't.
Speaking
Anyways.
of the flyer.
The only drug I'm on is the Lord Jesus Christ. That's where I get my highs.
So, and in this haunted house, how we did it was each room was a different, like, movie.
Yeah.
And so that's what kind of made us a little bit different. There's probably other haunted houses that do this.
I think I went to this one.
You did, but not this. You might have went that year that we did Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The first year that we did, I'm pretty sure this was again years ago. I think I was like 14.
Mm-hmm.
So this is almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We had these like little movie events, like little movie parties. We did this with like Dead Silence and like a couple others. But Evil Dead, that was the first time I ever watched it, was in a theater with all these other haunted theater kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big, weird, monumental moment for me to sit there in a theater with the full, like, big screen like we did for Rocky and watch Evil Dead. And it was amazing, because everything started to click whenever we were working on like all this stuff around the house because I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
It was amazing,
It's one of the Sam Raimi got.
And it made my haunting experience, like how I scared people,
Yeah.
completely different because I got a lot of tips from this movie. So I thought I would add that cute little thing in there.
Aw.
Aw.
Totally off topic. I was in one of those once, and their Saw room pissed me off because somebody jumped out like in a jigsaw mask and like ran at somebody. I was like, that's not how these movies work. That's not what these are about. I was very upset.
Maybe cut my leg off.
Yeah. If you're gonna
welcome.
put me into a Saw room, like if you're gonna put me into a Saw room, make me dig my eye out with a spoon or kill me. Like
What?
one or the other.
We can't legally do any of those things. We don't know how to touch you in West Virginia.
You can't touch me, but you can make me touch myself.
Touch me.
Not like that, but
So
Good.
touch it.
Anyways, I
That's
just
a
thought I would
movie.
add that little bit in there.
Yeah.
So why don't we kind of go around and do our little round table of thoughts.
okay.
I'm going to start with Joel.
Okay.
Tell me what you think of the movie.
I honestly have no real, solid opinion on the first Evil Dead one way or the other.
Why?
I love the behind the scenes. I love what it did. I love how they did it.
Mhm.
Like, the impact that it had. The people who made it, like, what they went on to do, how it started careers. How they filmed it, like, what went into it. But the film itself, I just personally... It's just kind of there for me. Like, it's good, but I significantly like Evil Dead 2 a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, in my mind, just kind of... It's like, yeah, it's good. It's scary at times. They have a
You were
lot
just
of really
beginning
cool
of
effects
things
and
to
stuff.
come.
Huh?
Just the beginning of greater things to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was a good diving board to go bigger and better and medievaler eventually, but...
Fuck.
I
God
didn't
damn
understand
it.
that. Never understood that.
Makes sense, kind of.
So, again, I haven't seen all the movies. I've missed the most. The only one I haven't seen is like the most popular one, apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe so, but I've seen it a few times throughout my life, and I just rewatched it earlier this week in preparation for this. And I like it a lot more now than I did the first time that I saw it. I will agree with you that I think I respect and appreciate all the behind the scenes and production stuff more than the actual movie. But as for the actual movie, it's a solid piece of film. Like I liken it, and I've told you this before, I liken it to like being the horror version of Clerks. Like, it was just a bunch of friends that wanted to make a movie, and it shouldn't have worked, but it really works. Against all odds, it works so well. It's a movie I could definitely rewatch, and I don't think I could really get bored of very fast. Like, it's slow in like the first act, but once things start rolling, they start rolling, and it doesn't stop. So yeah, I liked it. I really liked it.
So with me, there's a lot of heart behind this movie as well, because it really, like I said, it did change my haunting experience.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It made me want to get into like the gore makeup, and it made me want to be in this world. Was watching this kind of movie, because I've always appreciated horror before, but I never wanted to be a part of it until I saw this movie. It was just because it was a whole story with Sam Raimi. This was his like, his shit on the world. Let me take a dump here in the middle of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then just fucking Bruce Campbell. Just
Star of the
sweet
movie,
Lord. Drag my nutsack through a field of broken glass just to lick his asshole.
You have a nutsack?
Huh?
You have a nutsack?
I have a nutsack, yes. It's in a jar.
Where did you get it?
Yes.
Was this medically acquired, or was this just like, oh, there's a body there, I'm gonna take this?
Did you
It's
create the body?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did all these things.
Wow.
And also, since watching it, like, whenever, I'm gonna say 14, I am really not sure. Again, all those years kind of ran together.
Yeah.
But watching it at that moment in time, it was one of the first horror movies that actually scared me to watch it. But again, I also watched it younger than all of you.
Yeah.
I was definitely much younger. I don't remember the actual age. But it was one of the first horror movies that actually genuinely really freaked me out. I don't know if it was because, again, I was sitting like kind of like off on my own in the middle of the theater.
Like you do.
Yeah, like I do. Sit there, collect my thoughts.
Yeah.
Normal things.
Avoid human interaction.
Exactly. And then once they started to notice, like, some of the older staff were, like, sitting behind me, kind of starting to notice that I was kind of, like, getting into my chair, they decided to creep around and come behind me and, like, get my rib cage, like, right underneath, and I screamed so fucking loud in the middle of this, which freaked out everybody else. They're silently kind of watching this movie, because I don't remember what part of the, I think it was, like, right after Tree Rape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right after that.
That's
watching that as a 14
yeah.
writing that as a
Especially
14-year-old
girl, yeah.
Watching the Tree Rape thing.
I would.
You were a 14-year-old girl.
I was at one point.
What point?
I don't want to talk about it.
Thank you.
Yesterday? Drastic change?
Yeah.
Thank you. I think it was also from, like, the first opening of just the car, how like, mundane everything really looked up until, like, the Tree Rape part. How just, like, meh, this is just gonna be another little cabin movie, it's fine. Another little cabin couple jump scares horror movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my brain thought whenever I first saw it. Because nobody really explained anything to me other than just that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking... Then this Tree Rape scene happened.
You shove a whole tree inside of somebody, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, this is okay, so this is what we're going to getting ourselves fucking into now.
Yeah.
I loved it. I've always loved this movie from start to finish. I don't know if it's because of all, like, the, deep little meanings that I have for it, but this movie will always remain something really special to me. So again, I hadn't seen the movie in a very, very long time since I really wanted to put this podcast together, and so I rewatched it, and then watching my reactions and watching my boyfriend's reaction to this movie. Because I watched it so young, and then that was the first time he had seen it was the other night.
Yeah.
Just, this is bullshit. Like that, like all those kinds of comments. I'm like, come on, man.
It looks so fake and bad and cheap and like,
but
well,
it
was.
It was cheap, but it also wasn't at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand.
There was so much heart and dedication.
This movie had nothing.
Yeah.
Had literally nothing. I'm trying to pull up exactly how much they made. Or how much money they spent.
Didn't make. Yeah. The budget.
It won't let me look at it, but I think it was like $500,000.
Yeah.
Was it? Or was it less than that?
I think it was less than that.
I think it was less.
Like, Sam Raimi... I mean, it was literally... The location scouting, I think you told me, they just found this cabin.
Yeah.
Like on a road trip.
Yeah.
And at one point in filming, they had run out of money, and what did they do?
They all went to, like, all the, like, the banks and their friends and, like, all that kind of stuff. And
just begged.
And Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and I think Ted Raimi went and did this. I have to reread it again on my research.
Yeah.
But I think also Ted Raimi.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fact check me on that one. But I do know that Bruce Campbell went.
Yeah.
Because he was a big part in the making of this movie. Because he really wanted to see,
Yeah.
They were friends for how long? Like, God, I don't even know. I don't remember.
Long enough to make a movie together.
Long enough to want to be like, hey, let's do this together.
Yeah. You want to give me all your money to make my dream come true? Sure.
I just can't believe. Okay, so the majority of the cast is from Michigan.
Yeah.
They lived they all kind of knew each other, and then decided. I think it was the state of Michigan wouldn't let them film there, and
they were filming it in the winter, and Michigan is
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan. So
Michigan normal is kind of cold.
Yeah.
They decided to do it in Tennessee because it would be warmer.
Yeah.
However, that winter, Tennessee experienced one of the coldest winters on record, and Michigan was unseasonably warm. So in the end, it bit him in the ass, but...
Yeah.
Perfect.
But budget-wise, I don't think it even reached $500,000.
But then they made so much back.
Yeah.
Again, apparently my numbers don't want to show up on here, but they made so much money fucking back.
The little movie that could.
Yeah, really. The original Book of the Dead, and then
changed the title right before release.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made all the difference. Evil Dead. I don't know. And then the cover.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They changed it just because I don't remember which producer it was, went, hey, if we call the book The Dead, people might think they would have to read. So let's maybe not give off that implication.
Wow, film producers. Good
Perfect
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Would we all be sitting here talking about Book of the Dead? Like, would it have caught on
I don't
if it
know.
were called Book of the Dead? Would you have seen it?
Like,
Have to
personally,
read through it, like
personally, I think The Evil Dead is a stupid title.
Why?
Yeah, I just like that kind of like. I know
It's
it's
iconic now.
It's iconic because of the movie. Like the movie isn't iconic because of the title.
you
Like-
hear The Evil Dead, you're like, okay, it grabs you in the pit of your.
The pit of your
Pit.
asshole.
Like I
You're like,
understand
okay.
that the movie is like really down to earth B movie quality, but I don't think it needed a really down to earth B movie quality title. Like I think Book of the Dead would have been fine.
I don't know. Evil Dead it's that type of title that grabs you, like
Yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Something that you're just like, okay, that title it interests me. That title just immediately goes, okay, I want to know what happens in that.
Yeah.
Another interesting little fun fact. Apparently, they opened in their home, like in their Michigan hometown. It was the same theater that Bruce Campbell like grew up seeing movies in. Is where they released the movie. It was kind of like the same thing with Gone with the Wind. When they released their movie, they did it in Georgia
Yeah.
to give back to the town of Georgia.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it was the same, obviously the same reasoning, but I think it's also really neat.
Different contexts there. Yeah.
I think it was really neat just because they're giving that back.
Yeah.
To their little hometown will always be known for, hey, first showing of Evil Dead was here.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
That's kind of really neat. And we all love Sam Raimi because of all the different things that he's done.
Yeah. What was that one movie?
What was that one
about
big-ass
the
fucking
bug
movie?
Guy?
Dark
Yeah.
Man? The only superhero movie he's done?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So, as we all kind of know, Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man.
Which one?
Yes.
The Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The
only Spider-Mans.
The
Andrew
Tobey
Garfield?
Maguire
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I would
And
beat you to
We
death.
can also see Bruce Campbell. And I'm pretty sure every single one,
yeah.
single one, we can see Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
and in
The
his
first
car.
one, he's the wrestling announcer.
He's the wrestling announcer, and the second one, he is...
He's the usher at the theater.
Yes, and then the third one, he's the, he's at the restaurant. He's the,
Oh yeah, he's the
Not the waiter, the
maitre d'.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the actors, at least me off the top... You want to get there?
If Sam Raimi's vision for Spider-Man 4 would have
I was gonna
come
say
to
this.
fruition,
I was going to say this.
they would have tied all that together, and the opening scene would have been Spider-Man stopping Mysterio from robbing a bank, and Mysterio was going to be Bruce fucking Campbell, and all three of his appearances would have been him.
Yeah.
I
Would have
actually
been
did not know
building to
that.
Yeah. Like, it
And then
wasn't
we got
really
the Amazing
confirmed. It was
Spider-Man.
just in the concept art and the storyboarding. They kind of used Bruce Campbell's face for Mysterio, but it probably would have panned out that way. Anyway, the movie we're talking
the
about.
movie that we were talking
Yeah.
about. But I just thought I would throw that out there in case anybody didn't know. I don't know how you wouldn't know listening to this podcast that he also directed the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So you went from making Evil Dead,
Mhm.
this little, not that little now, but this
No.
little horror movie
Yeah.
that you put together with your friends,
Yeah.
to being the fucking writer, writer, not
Writer
writer.
and director.
Writer and
Yeah.
director.
Yeah.
Of Spider.
Spider-Man's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
The producers kind of wrote most of 3.
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
great. It's not fine,
It's
but
not.
It's not fine.
It's
I
not
love
as
Spider-Man
bad as
3,
we used
but
to think, but it's
I
not
love
fun.
it. I think it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
anyways.
Venom notwithstanding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of a really neat thing.
Yeah.
Watching his timeline.
It's definitely one of those like filmmaker careers that, like, as wannabe filmmakers, I really envy the fuck out of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I'm
That's
just
how
gonna
we
go
also.
into debt to film in my employer's,
That's how you kind of compared the two.
Yeah.
Was that that Clerks was Kevin's.
It was just putting
that was
your
his
all into this
everything.
one project.
And it,
Yeah.
not. I'm going to say this, and I'm the biggest Kevin Smith fan to ever. Like, I love Kevin Smith's movies.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously different. Clerks isn't as big as what Evil Dead became.
Yeah.
But,
Is it better?
Still.
Probably, but
I don't know.
That's a different conversation. Yeah.
But the same dream got you to this point.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I love the most about Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It's not even just the movie itself. It's Sam Raimi's journey as a director.
Yeah.
Which I think is the coolest thing to watch.
Like, he really is, like, one of only, like, 4 directors I can think of off the top of my head who just put their all into this one passion project, and because of that dedication, that drive, got to go to, like, huge places because of it. Kevin Smith hasn't gone to, like, huge places, but he's a huge name.
I think he's gone to huge places. Like, he just had that entire panel at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Huge panel at Comic-Con.
But, like, just like, in movies alone, like, Sam Raimi went and did Spider-Man. Gareth Edwards went from a $500,000 passion project called Monsters, not a bad movie, by the way, to Godzilla, to Star Wars.
I think the difference between, like, Kevin Smith and Sam Raimi is that, for the most part, Sam Raimi is known more for the films that he makes themselves.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, Your Evil Dead, Oz the Great and Powerful.
Don't even mention Oz the Great and Powerful.
Whereas Kevin Smith is known more for being Kevin Smith.
Which I love, which is great.
Which is great, but outside of Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, most people...
Chasing Amy.
I love Chasing
most
Amy,
people...
No.
Most people who even know Kevin Smith aren't going to be able to look at you and go, yeah, you know, freaking Tusk and Yoga Hosers and Red State and Cop Out and Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yeah, like Sam Raimi's a household name because of Sam Raimi's work. Kevin Smith is a household name because of Kevin Smith. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is still great in its own right.
Oh, it is.
It's also kind of comparing apples to oranges, but they kind of started in the same, not the same way, but...
And I adore and respect the hell out of both of them for it.
Oh my god.
Do not get me wrong. That's what I want to do.
So
both
as...
of them and Robert Rodriguez are, like, my idols.
So as wannabe horror directors and writers, can you tell me exactly what has this movie done for you in that respect?
Wow. Like, it's any movie you make, any like sort of artistic endeavor you undertake, it's all just lengthy problem solving. Like, you have a plan and you want to stick to the plan, but not everything goes according to plan.
As you can see with this movie, didn't they lose actors? Like, they lost a lot of actors, I thought, towards the end.
Towards the end, they were supposed to shoot for 6 weeks. After a little over 12 weeks, they broke and went home for Christmas. They did all that.
Yeah.
And they came back for, I think, 1 or 2 more weeks. And, like, half the actors either didn't come back or only came back for a few days.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of the females throughout, like, half the movie are totally played by dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely tell.
Probably when that makeup got heavier.
They didn't have they didn't have the actresses, so it was Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and, like, 1 or 2 others that were like, all right, we're just gonna bullshit our way through the rest of this.
But the inspiration I take from this movie, and it is a hugely inspiring movie because of just that passion that Raimi had to bring his vision to life. Like, it's you can always find a way to do what you want to do. You just have to be fucking creative about it. Like, when the first possessed woman, like, starts floating in the house, they just had a guy outside the window holding her up, hiding behind a black curtain. The infection in the ankle, that was just stop motion animation, frame by frame, extending the makeup a little more. It looks fantastic, yeah.
There was no cellar in that house.
No, there wasn't a cellar. So what they did was had to dig a fucking hole underneath the fucking
fucking
house.
floor, and then dug 8 feet down, built a fake staircase, and then filmed all the basement scenes. Like,
I thought in Michigan, or was it? Yeah.
One of the producers' basement. I do not remember which producer it was, but
which
one
was
of his
probably
parents'
Michigan.
basements.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah.
Which is where you can see a poster for
Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes, yeah.
Which then.
And then in the second one, you can see the Freddy glove, and there's a bunch of weird, cute little nods.
Wes Craven paid back by in the end of the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy is watching
Evil Dead
on the TV.
Yeah.
Dope as shit.
Yeah.
And then another neat little fact, since we're kind of throwing those out there, and then we'll go back to that question.
Yeah.
Stephen King, like, highly praised this movie to the point, I'm pretty sure it's on the cover, his, like, quote.
Yeah.
Which was...
Leonard Maltin's quote. I know that. Stephen King's, I'm pretty sure also was.
Yeah.
Like, he was...
I mean, it's Stephen King. If you've got Stephen King's, like...
endorsement?
Okay.
Yeah. Like one of the few undisputed kings of horror.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really what, like, sold the movie was one of the film festivals he saw it at. It's fucking amazing. They put it on the cover of that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to hear what you...
Yeah, but just that's really the big thing that I take away from it is you can do whatever you want with, like, almost no resources. You just have to be goddamn creative about how you're going to go about it.
And the cool thing with what Peaches and Scream, with what we're trying to start right now, we are the 5 friends.
Yeah.
Trying to boost ourselves, all of us together as a collective group, to try to make our dreams happen and to make our movies happen and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, this movie did a lot.
Yeah.
Did a lot for, like, amateur horror directors.
Yeah, no, like...
general.
Amateur,
anyone.
If you want to make a film, this is...
Just go out and make it.
A film that I recommend you see.
Yeah. To quote David F. Sandberg, make movies, not excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one of those movies that really, like, it takes that, like, David F. Sandberg said it before or after this movie, but it's an embodiment of that mentality. Just go out and do it. Do whatever you have to do it. Get it done.
It's easier now than it ever has been as well. 'Cause I think it was J.J. Abrams that pointed out in some TED talk where he was like, look, in your pocket you have stuff that 20 years ago I would have killed for half the stuff your iPhone can do right now, and you just have it on you 24/7.
That machine is more powerful than the computers that put a man on the moon.
Fucking Game Boy was more powerful than that, though, so...
And that's what's crazy, is that it wouldn't cost us that much money to put together like it did. The very little money that they did have for Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that not only that everyone, especially me as somebody who does not have talent, should remember is that it does also take talent. Like,
no, it does.
Anyone can go out and make a movie.
But it takes that. Not everybody's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Not everybody can make a good movie.
Yeah. You say this as someone who has actually gone out and made a movie, too.
I mean, like, half of it.
Editing's a cunt.
Editing is a cunt, but you actually did go out and make a movie. Like, if we're talking about, like, grassroots directors, we've got one right here. Keep an eye out for Boss Fight.
You dumb slut.
Yeah.
So, also another favorite thing about this movie in particular is the gore.
Yeah.
Is the makeup.
Yeah.
It's I'm not saying special effects. I'm gonna leave that out there.
They are special effects.
But it's the makeup.
Yeah.
It's the makeup. It's the use of grits.
Yeah.
I mean,
grits. Those were pretty gritty.
That, as we were talking about that the other day, I'm a really big fan of, like, Tom Savini and like all those guys.
Yeah.
And this movie, in makeup alone, just skyrocketed it to a different plane.
Yeah.
Corn syrup and food coloring and dog food.
And by the way, I don't recommend the corn syrup thing. It really hurts. It rips out your hair. I've done it before. Corn syrup blood. It's not fun. It looks so nice, but it hurts so bad.
That's just what
I have literally gotten skin ripped off of my body
You'll
because of
grow
corn
back.
syrup blood.
You regrow it.
I was so little.
Art is pain.
Because
if you don't really bleed for your product, have you made a good product?
No, you're right. And I've bled a lot from Rocky and my heels, from being in haunted houses, from being
But still, you've bled for your art. That's art. Commendable.
Right now. Anyways,
probably bled more than cried.
I have bled more than cried.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done both. At the same time, I've cried blood on set.
It's sweat at the top, and then blood, and way down here.
The fecal matter. What?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's shitting yourself. Anyways, so how do you think this compares to other movies when it comes to the makeup?
for what they had, for
what
the
they
budget that they like could scrounge
Oh my
up,
god.
incredible.
Phenomenal.
The design of their design was
Yeah.
just crazy.
There's a lot of like technical aspects being get into like there. Like the first possessed lady, like she still looks a lot like a lady until she gets thrown in the cellar and immediately like gets a full mask.
And then I think it's a puppet. I don't know, but I think it's a puppet. Like when they're like
that
her,
first shot.
I'm pretty sure it's a
it
puppet.
looks like a puppet. Yeah. But for all that they had, which wasn't a lot, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a testament to, again, the drive and determination. They didn't have a lot of resources, but they made those resources count.
The pure talent.
Yeah.
I've seen films with budgets 40 times what they had.
Yeah.
That look like shit because
Cats.
Nobody. That's different. That's CG. That's
Cat's his own little horror movie. That's not makeup. That's just
Son of the Mask. Son of the Mask.
Yeah.
But it's the makeup. I think it's the makeup and the scleras. The eyes.
That's
you want to talk about
yeah.
the plastic?
What's wrong with her eyes? Well, there's a lot of plastic in there, yeah.
They're burning because you can only have them on those kinds in the 80s or they filmed in like the late 70s.
Yeah.
They're literally plastic.
Yeah.
Literally plastic.
And they cover that entire front part of your eye.
And I listened to this really neat documentary, which is on YouTube. You can find it.
Yeah.
About how Bruce Campbell was the one who had to go up to people's go up to like the girls and help them take them out, which is just insane to me.
Yeah.
And the only kind of thing that they had to clean their hands was hot coffee. So could you imagine? That's how you're cleaning your little hands, and then just going up and going ting, just right out of somebody's face.
All right, just stay still. There you
I
go.
can't wear contacts for that reason. I can't touch my eyes, so I could not imagine. Like I should wear.
And you can only wear 15 minutes at a time. So what happens if you don't get that scene that you're looking for, and you're just kind of like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out?
Yeah.
My eyes, because as we know, even this takes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a lot.
I think it was a solid like half hour of just me sitting down here, maybe not half an hour, like 15 minutes, setting up the lights, making sure everything was like out of shot or in shot.
For me to decide that I wanted tea and then that I didn't want tea.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah, like I heard that whole discussion. I was like, is he gonna go for it?
I don't like tea.
Extending my tripods.
But anyways, and then imagine, fucking up scenes when you have these eye burning shit in your face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a lot to ask.
And then you have this
actor.
beautiful man just walking up to you and be like, ma'am, let me take this out of your face. And I'd be like, yes.
I don't think it got
I'm
beautiful
fine.
until the second movie, but that's just me.
Unibrow and all. Unibrow and all.
He claims that at least something or other during the course of this film permanently altered the shape of his face, and I respect that.
And in the same documentary, all the girls were saying something about how we all had a crush on Bruce.
It's the
chin.
It was like, who doesn't?
I know people who don't know who Bruce Campbell is.
I mean, like
that
that
crushes
man.
on Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
That man's a. Oh, this entire podcast is just about fucking Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi.
I remember turning it on the other night, and like that first shot of him in the car, beginning of the movie, just that chin.
Beautiful. The whole cast is really pretty, but it's him that stands out.
He's aged like a fucking fine wine
Oh.
too, though. Like he looked good then, but I'm like, oh my god,
like watching him in Burn Notice.
A little bit of gray hair.
Oh yeah.
The chiseledness, just the voice that emanates from his fucking face hole.
This whole podcast, you should just put The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Parentheses. The Bruce Campbell story. Because that's all this is.
Yeah.
Because
I think we gave equal time to Sam Raimi there. But
we did.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
He's like one of the kings of horror.
Yeah.
He's in horror. It's really weird to have a guy who's known by his name, not that guy played Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You're Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Oh, you played Jason. You're Jason. Not that we don't know these names, but I'm just saying, like,
in terms of
normal
actual
people don't know these names.
on-screen faces for horror, like names. Yeah, the only two like male people that I can think of that your typical person would. Oh yeah, Bruce Campbell, like Robert Englund.
Yeah.
I think Robert Englund, but I don't think
Even
it's
then,
as
the face is not as noticeable. Like the face,
Like he's
the
the king of
name
movies, yeah.
you hear the name Robert Englund, you're like, oh yeah, Robert Englund, but the face isn't as.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always wearing his most prominent role is Freddy.
yeah.
But Bruce Campbell, you're like, yeah, like you see the face, you hear that, you're like, that's
Bruce Campbell.
that's a horror icon right there, which
Yeah.
doesn't happen as much with
It doesn't
a
happen
dude
as much.
being known for.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is.
Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of like gotten out of that.
Well, she's gotten out of it, but she's the scream queen. Like, there's a
She
lot
is
more.
She's the scream queen. She's the one that we all look up to.
Elvira. There's a lot more like women in horror that you're like, yeah, I can associate that face with that name.
Yeah.
Dudes tend to be under a mask, under a lot of prosthetics.
And
You know
I
them
never
more for
thought
that
about that
character.
before.
Yeah. I think it's just a symptom of some larger problems in like the horror industry. Is that we God, what's the word I'm looking for? We objectify women so much, so like the women have to be pretty. Women have to like
Well, not
look
just
the
that, like-
best on screens,
Mhm.
and like any like prominent male roles like have to either die, so we focus more on the women,
I mean, in
or
this
they're
movie,
bad guys.
tree rape.
Tree rape, yeah,
Tree rape was a big.
yeah.
I mean, Bruce Campbell is one of the only final guys that I can think of. Like, you have final girls. You have the girl that lives through the whole movie that makes it out.
It's such a huge trope. Scream talked about it.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell is one of the only dudes I can think of that is not
Is
only
the
survivor,
survivor.
he's the survivor.
Yeah.
Like, there's a handful where it's like, oh yeah.
When you think Evil Dead, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It's Bruce fucking Campbell.
Yeah.
It's the cover of Evil Dead 2 with the skull with the eye, because that just freaks me the fuck out. Like, you should not.
If I look,
When you
Shut
when I
up.
hear the words Evil Dead, I see the skull on the cover of Evil Dead 2 with the eye.
Yeah.
Because it just freaks me the fuck out. Because eyes should not be in your skull. After that skull just freaks me the fuck out.
I think my
But
favorite
Bruce Campbell's
cover
the
is the original. I like the
Yeah.
hand. It's apparently one of the most out of all the horror movies. It's one of the most tattooed.
Really?
I believe
Yeah, I was obviously I do a lot of research with these whenever
Yeah.
we talk about them, and I never realized that. But I've never seen anybody with an Evil Dead tattoo, except for at horror cons. But that's a little bit of a different story. They all kind of have them.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
Psychotic X, who had Bruce Campbell just right there.
Really?
It was weird. It was the scene in Evil Dead 2 when he's losing his mind in the cabin.
Oh, and it's that
When
like
it's that
that
close up
fish
where he's like,
islands.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one where he does, and then he does the
Yeah.
dance.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well,
Cool tattoo, but
we're at about 35 minutes now. Like, what else do you really want to like cover, like in depth?
the classic.
The classic. What you mean, the car?
The car.
Oh
Okay,
my
let's
God,
talk about the
yeah.
fucking car.
It's in every Sam Raimi movie.
It is in every Sam Raimi
Was
movie.
it in Oz the Great and Powerful?
It's
It
in Oz the
was.
Great and Powerful. There is one film that it's not in, and I don't remember which one it is. It takes place in there's one that it's not in. Even though he directed one that's in like medieval times, it's still in that.
Yeah.
But there's one film that it doesn't show up, and I don't know which one it is. But
Where the
Does his
fuck
scars?
is
Is it still run, or does he just move it around?
I would assume he has enough money to take care of it.
I would assume because it's like
Yeah.
an iconic, like Elvira's car.
Yeah.
There's certain, yeah.
I love that car so goddamn much. I would sell my soul for that.
Okay, out of all the iconic cars, I mean, there's the DeLorean.
Mhm.
Now I'm trying to think.
I don't know if Sam Raimi's car like
Is it iconic or is it just a neat little?
it's
trivia
just a
piece.
wink wink nudge nudge. Honestly, it's an Easter egg. It's not supposed to be iconic. It's supposed to blend in the
Do
background.
you think Bruce Campbell is an Easter egg?
I mean,
That's a Sam Raimi
he's an
movie. There's Bruce
iconic
Campbell
Easter
there.
egg, though? Like, yeah.
Are you telling me that the Delta 88 is not iconic?
Yes, I think that's
It
exactly
is.
what I've said.
It is. Look, maybe I'm just partial because
Your
I
first
hadn't-
car was
I had
a
Delta 88.
Yeah.
so I'm very.
I mean, if you ask the random person on the street when they think horror iconic car,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think Christine.
That's the only
Yeah.
car I'm gonna think of if you say horror though, because there's not very many like.
But if you think, okay, so
Other
if I
than the
say
Ecto
iconic cars,
Yeah.
name iconic
But, like,
cars.
if you
the
see-
Bluesmobile, the Ecto one, the
the
yeah,
DeLorean.
if you
Christine,
see-
the DeLorean.
If you see any one of those in like some movie that it doesn't belong in, you're gonna be like, oh shit, there's the fucking DeLorean. There's the fucking Pizza Planet truck from every Disney movie.
Wasn't it? There's that one commercial that came out recently. I think
any Walmart commercial now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Walmart where they packed it. So there was like the hearse,
the Batmobile,
the Ghostbusters hearse. They had a whole bunch of them in there.
Yeah.
Was it the hearse? Was it from the new one?
No, the hearse is in the original.
No, in the original it's an ambulance.
Is it?
Yeah,
No, because they transformed it.
Ambulance in the original.
I could have sworn it's not.
Ambulances used to be different.
Yeah, it's again an older style ambulance, but it's
anyways, this is gonna be a different fucking. This is gonna be something I have to revisit with you.
Yeah, but
never mind.
Anyway, you see any of those movies elsewhere where they don't belong, you're gonna get excited. But you see Sam Raimi's really inconspicuous Delta 88.
I mean, it's an inconspicuous car, but it's a beautiful fucking car.
Okay.
You look at that thing. That car is the vehicular equivalent to Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
Like its stretched out hood is the equivalent of his chin. They look the same. They're beautiful.
I just think beauty does not an icon make.
Okay. So things that are iconic other than the car and Bruce Campbell
in this
movie is the book.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
He took it from Lovecraft.
Yeah.
The Necronomicon. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can buy this, by the way, at your local bookstore.
Yeah. So like,
I have one somewhere.
So in a weird way, like just talk about Lovecraft for 5 seconds. Like Lovecraft wrote only so many books before he died, and like a lot of Lovecraftian lore is from different authors that decided to just pick up after him. So in a weird way, you could say that Sam Raimi's Evil Dead franchise is connected to Cthulhu somehow through the Necronomicon.
Probably.
Yeah. It's even connected to Marvel Comics. Like, if you guys ever read Marvel Zombies, there was that crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was awesome.
Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash.
Yeah. That too.
Perfect.
Sad tear.
Has any of you actually given the TV show a chance?
I watched the first 6 episodes. I have been meaning to pick back up on it. I just haven't had the chance.
Again, get Netflix, Joel. It is all on right now.
I own all 3 seasons on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
I have a box set.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. I don't. I've watched Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story 6 times in 5 months.
It's a beautiful fucking movie.
I can't sit down to watch anything at
Get out of here, Drew! You don't want to be a part of this.
I think I do want to be a part of it.
I watch the same handful of things over and over. I just don't have time to sit down and dedicate to a whole show.
But anyways, I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I am genuinely pleased.
Raimi directed the first episode himself, didn't he?
I think he did.
Pretty sure he did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He at the very least had a very heavy creative hand.
Yeah.
Cameos that are in it. Is it Cheryl? Cheryl makes a cameo. Cheryl was the first possessed.
I think. It's been a while since I've watched it.
I can only say what the commercials said. I didn't watch the show.
Xena Warrior Princess is in it.
Ooh.
It has
Xena.
I like
Xena.
Xena.
One of the saddest endings I've ever seen to a show because it never got renewed for season 4.
No, it did get canceled, and
the ending
that
for
makes
season 3 was a setup that was just so.
It just means we're gonna get another movie.
I don't know.
Bruce Campbell has said that he's done playing Ash. He's publicly gone, I'm done with the character, we're done. But he's also gone on and gone, yeah, I'd like to do more. So
yeah.
It's kind of like Quentin Tarantino saying he's going to not make movies after 10.
Yeah.
Is he, though? Is Steven Soderbergh really retired?
Just catch him on a good day. Catch him on a good day, get that signature on the contract.
I mean, Ash is more than likely going to be in Mortal Kombat 11, so there's hope there, at least.
Yeah.
That's neat.
With Spawn.
Huh.
Oh, wow. I would love to see Ash fight Spawn.
Oh, my God. I would just love to see a Spawn movie, finally.
What else have we... what else has he been in? I'm trying
Bruce
to...
Campbell?
Not Bruce Campbell, but Ash himself. Because we have comic book.
Yeah.
We have, video games?
Handful of Evil Dead video games. You got one on PS1, one on PS2, and Xbox.
I think what I want to do is start a YouTube series where I play these video games.
Yeah.
And I think we should try to find it.
I can find both of those real easy. There's a fucking iPhone game for Army of Darkness.
Really?
That's really good. It still works on modern iPhones. I have it on my phone. I play it. It's fucking great.
So this is where the little movie that could has gone.
Yeah.
Video games, TV shows, comics.
There's a musical.
There is a musical.
What the fuck was that? Yeah. By the way, if you have not seen the musical, I'm pretty sure the entirety of it's on YouTube, but it's campy fantastic. You should at least listen to the music, because pairing it with the movie, it's just great.
That sounds like something I have to do now. Kind of like watching Wizard of Oz with Pink Floyd.
Yeah. So like Heathers. Heathers is another horror musical.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, when you're listening to music, you can pick which scene it's supposed to be in, and it's the same thing with The Evil Dead. You can kind of like picture, this is going this. So if you don't actually, you know.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Carrie the musical.
Yeah.
Which is also a thing.
How
many of these are there?
A lot. There was a Heather's TV show about a year ago. It sucked ass.
There was. I forgot about that.
Totally off topic. It's fucking awful. It is.
Completely missed the point.
I'm sorry, but if it's not Shannon Doherty and Winona Ryder, I'm not gonna care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you gonna leave out somebody? Or are we not gonna? You wanna?
Christian Slater? Yeah.
He was an archer.
He was. Anyways, I think that's about it though for like how many things Ash has been in besides the movies.
Yeah, but that's like everything.
Though. That is a lot. That's a lot of different mediums.
Like how many modern mediums did you miss there? Not many.
I don't think so.
I can't think of any.
TV, movies, video games,
comics.
guest appearances in video games, showing up in random mass Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, and comics.
Yeah.
Love those comics.
Stage shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween events, fucking. They've done the Evil Dead at like.
They show,
Nights or whatever. I don't know which one, but
which is something I've always wanted to go see. But anyways, it's really neat. Again, like you said, this little movie, went this far, and that's just crazy to me. Now I do have about 2 more questions.
Okay.
Hopefully it answers.
Okay, so I want to hear your favorite scene and why.
Ooh.
It's a really hard one.
I actually have this one.
Okay.
When he takes his girlfriend into the shed and is about to chop her up with a chainsaw. That is my favorite scene in the movie. There's very little writing. There's no dialogue at all in that scene. Everything about that scene that's great comes strictly from Bruce Campbell's performance.
Mm-hmm.
You see every thought racing through his head, every emotion about what he's thinking of doing and ultimately decides not to. All comes through that man's beautiful face.
And
unibrow. And that jaw.
The unibrow isn't as prominent as the movie goes on, but anyways, go on.
No, but that's right there. When I was watching this the other night, that scene actually drew me in to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was engaged with the movie before then, but that scene, when I saw what was happening, I actually sat up and wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not something you would expect from a schlocky, no budget horror movie of the time. You expect boobs, blood.
We got both of those.
We did get both.
We
of
did
those.
get both of those.
But you don't expect a quiet, introspective scene with a lot of character running underneath it. So that's my favorite scene.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the ending. I like the shot as it goes through the woods and through the cabin, and then.
I'm Sam Raimi on a bike.
Actually, it was a motorcycle.
It was a motorcycle.
I had to relook that up.
It's actually neither. Bruce Campbell is going on record going, no, that he just sprinted at me. He just
ran.
Yep. Bruce Campbell himself has said that
there was
no motorcycle, there was no bike.
Yeah.
Because I have looked this up. As I said, done extensive research on this thing.
Yeah.
Because what I read was first a bike. A ding-ding bike.
Mm-hmm.
That's my bike! Like a bike.
Ah! My bike. Where's my bike?
and then I've also heard motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then I never heard that one.
Bruce. I don't know where the interview was. But Bruce Campbell in the interview was like, "Nah, he just sprinted at me."
Either way, I know he broke ribs from that.
But it's one of those iconic shots in the movie.
It's a wonderful shot, and it's also I love a good depressing ending.
Yeah.
I love. It's daylight. I've made it. Now,
Did
bitch.
you?
Okay.
Gotcha, bitch.
So my favorite, I don't think it's a full-blown scene, but it is a moment.
Yeah.
It's Ash's girlfriend in the movie. She's doing that song.
Yeah.
It's the song.
Yeah, that one.
In the middle of the scene that is going on around them, and then you just kind of pan over, and then she's doing
just sitting
that.
there. Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
That's all she's doing is sitting there, and yet it's unsettling enough to really be like, oh no, bitch. Oh no, baby, what is you doing?
She was like the scare that like stood out to me the most in the movie.
Which is really odd. I thought that was really odd that was the scary thing for you.
Like, it's just like it's subtle and creepy. Like, she's just sitting there for most of that. Like, she comes out of the bedroom. Yeah. And Ash is just trying to like help his friend, and doesn't want to think about having to possibly kill his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of ignoring her and trying to fix everything else, and she's just sitting there, smiling and being blind the whole time because of those contact lenses.
And what's a really neat thing is the romance with him and the girlfriend kind of go throughout the entirety of these movies.
Yeah.
It's that the eyeglass thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I don't know why, but that really was a memorable little thing out of all. When I'm thinking about all of them as a big picture.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of, is that little eyeglass thing that kind of carries throughout all of them.
Yeah.
You know, that's his keeping me steady thing.
See, when I think of Ash's romance, I never think of the fact that he even had a girlfriend. I always just think of that one line in Army of Darkness. Oh, come on, baby. That's just what we call pillow talk. That's every time I think of...
He's such a slut in Army of Darkness, which I love, but like...
romance, that's the only thing I can think of, is just him saying that line.
Where did his confidence come from, like, between movies?
You ever kill a motherfuck ton of demons? Like,
that's
fair.
It
brings it out of you.
But, like, you go
You
come out of
didn't
your
do
shell.
that.
Like, he goes from, like, being unable to chop his girlfriend up with a chainsaw to chopping his own hand off to, baby, you got real ugly. Like, there's a clear progression of character somewhere in there. Yeah.
You can watch as the films go on from him be...
But again, I missed the middle chapter of those movies. Yeah.
Well, that's where it comes from. He goes, like, fucking insane in that. And
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, is that once you've, like, mentally snapped...
Yeah.
There's a whole different
You no
level of,
longer,
like, confidence there.
Once you're insane, you no longer go...
Give a single fuck.
I'm real insecure. You go, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do everything that he does in the third movie, which is...
Okay, that's fair.
That's so beautiful.
I understand that.
Alrighty, so I think we have time for one trivia question.
Okay.
Do you know the name of the town where the cabin is located?
I should know.
We just talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
literally
You've been talking to me about this for like the past week.
A video about this not even 2 hours ago.
Because I kept saying I want to go visit. I want to go see where it is.
This just goes to show like how much I pay attention.
You can't see where it is now. The only thing left is a
It's the
chimney.
Yeah, but
Squatters
still,
burned
it's
it
still
down.
I'm gonna pass.
People also totally stole all of the shit out of the cabin at one point. Like,
Yeah.
all of their stuff, except for the expensive stuff. They left, like, the cameras and the really expensive film equipment, but they took everything that they could easily replace, which is just a fucking miracle. I do not know, though. I do not know.
Morristown, Tennessee.
Okay. I knew it was Tennessee. I didn't know where.
Town of Morris.
So, as we're kind of closing, does anybody else have any last minute thoughts to add to the movie?
That was their second cabin.
So the girlfriend was the creepiest thing for me. The ankle stab was the like best effect for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
Yeah. I don't know if I brought it up on tape, but yeah. Now I have, and I've put my piece out there.
I like Evil Dead. I really like Evil Dead, but I think that it got better as it went on until it got to 3, where it got weird, but still a little bit better. I love this movie, but not quite as much as 2 and Army of Darkness are just the perfect.
See, that's where I'm going to firmly disagree with you. Is that I love this. I mean, not that I don't like the others too, but it's just that.
Oh, we're gonna have an argument in like 5 minutes, but yeah.
We are gonna have
an argument. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Do you watch Army of Darkness as?
I watch it as a campy comedy.
Do you watch it as Medieval Dead?
Medieval Dead.
That was the original title.
Oh my god! Now
and
it makes
Universal
sense.
made them change it, which they made them change the ending too. The original ending was
I slept too long.
fucking over Ash, which they do at the end of every movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it just depends on how you watch it. I think also like shapes your opinion of that film.
Yeah.
I love it as its own, like, I love the original ending. I think it fits perfectly with what Ash is built to, and it gives him a nice little pocket of happiness before the show happens, and then drains all of the happiness back out of him again and forces him into these terrible situations. But that's a whole other subject for a whole other podcast. I like this movie not as much as 2 or 3.
I love this movie more than 2 or 3, but it's not like I don't like the others.
I can respect that.
But
kind of.
I like camp, but I like campy. Don't get me wrong, because I do. Do you not see what I'm surrounded by in this fucking room? Do you understand? I do like campy, but I do like the first Evil Dead the most.
I can understand that. It's not like you're trying to tell me that like Poltergeist 2 is your favorite Poltergeist film. Like,
no, what?
I can completely understand where you're coming from.
I'm not
I respect it.
I'm not a heathen.
I mean,
I'm a little bit of a heathen.
Yeah.
Not that kind of heathen. Okay, so let's go around the room and give our Screaming Peach rating.
Peaches, yay. Joel?
Hold on. Somebody else go first.
All right.
I've missed a few podcasts. I do not remember. Is this a 5-star or 10-star?
This is out of 10.
Okay.
It's them Screaming Peaches, but yeah.
Oh, God. I use 5 stars in my own personal life, so trying to translate that's going to be a
little more math.
I don't understand, 20-point rating systems. I don't understand the difference between a 7.5
You're the
and a
fucking
7.
Worst type
A
of
7.5 and a
hate
7.
You,
I
Joel.
don't.
Why
What's the
are
difference?
you like this? Math is okay.
Explain the
Jesus
difference to me
Christ.
between a 7 and a 7.5.
Alec, give me your rating.
Before
I assault him on camera.
So as a movie, taking everything into account, having no knowledge of the production story or anything, it's a 7. Having knowledge of everything else, it gets an extra Screaming Peach.
Yeah.
It gets 8 out of 10.
So it's just a horror movie. Okay, I'll play your game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a horror movie, not looking at anything outside bullshit. I will give it an 8 out of 10. Because, like I said, this movie, at that moment in time, the first time I watched it, genuinely scared me.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, especially in this modern age of horror where we're all so kind of desensitized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did a lot. But having all of that, I'm gonna, again, agree with you on it's fucking, I love this fucking movie.
Yeah.
There's no amount. There's no amount there.
Yeah.
Joel?
I'm honestly going to go I'm going to say the exact same thing. Just on its own merits, just the film itself, a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing all everything that went behind it and the admiration I have for it, I bumped up to an 8. I really don't get it.
Respect.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm really excited that we all got to do this together again. And I'm really weirded out that you guys just kind of keep coming back to join me on this weird journey.
I don't have a choice. I live here.
I'm so sorry that I missed the last couple. I've been dying.
You also didn't have a choice. Yeah, you were dying.
I know.
Yeah, now that I'm better, I am glad to be back and would like to continue to be back if you would not murder me in my sleep.
Bitch.
Aw, bitch.
Aw, bitch.
Well, good. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening to a Peaches and Scream podcast. My name is Ellie, and please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.